Well, I want to commend you. I have other colleagues that would like to speak because I'm very aware of how much this is needed. And I just sit here and think, I know you're just getting going in the community colleges. That this sounds so great to me that I'm wondering if you ever thought of articulating down to high school. My daughter-in-law is vice principal at Laguna Creek High School, which feeds into Consumnes, and she's working with this. And I just know that a lot of the materials that I will certainly take my materials that I have home that I'd like to see if there were more that I can share with her, even though I'm not officially here, so that she can integrate this and maybe use this in her programs because she's working with the black parents of Elk Grove Unified, and so I think it would be. I know I was sharing. I say, why should somebody reinvent the wheel? Let's share. So I would appreciate that myself personally, but I'm sure Tracy will see you.
We'll make sure you get that.
Great. And now it was Barbara Davis-Lyman.
Yeah. About a year ago, January, right about this time, some of my colleagues were so jazzed up and excited about this conference. And I said, well, who put it on? Well, we don't know. There's no one putting it on. There's no money. But what happened was, you can't stop that thing. As you said, you're on the freeway, you're on a bullet train because the people coming together have the same thing that we talked about before, Kay Albiani and other people in this room, a passion to do what's right. And what has happened is you juiced up a graying faculty. Now, that's a little hard to do sometimes. But and help people grab on again to why they ever started in the community colleges. And you've done it without grants, without money. So the way that you've started this grassroots movement has been because there was a purpose, a need, and a purpose. And I want to tell you, can you imagine in Los Rios we have another woman, Teresa, who has integrity and passion, and Kay, it's dynamite. And thank you for paying attention to what a lot of people were ignoring. Thank you.
Pastor? Thank you.
Yes. I want to know if there are specific ways that this board can be of help. You made some statements earlier about the fact that you're not institutionalized, but I wonder if you could just be bold and courageous and give us a challenge.
Pastor, in all due respect, we cannot tell any lies, especially in front of you. More importantly, we were told to mind our manners today. But I'm getting ready to say it, Pastor. We need money. We need a budget line item. We want to stay at the community colleges. We want to help the students who are most in need. And we don't need money to do frivolous things. We need money to do the work, to train people. Help me, Tom. Slow me down. I'm just getting there. But that's what we need.
I hear you.
Yeah, and we realize these are challenging times, and I think that's why you're the kind of board you are. You're willing to take some risks and make some decisions even in challenging times. I know that what we'd like to do for sure is come back and talk with you again, maybe have a discussion about how things are going, provide a progress report to you, maybe after the May revise, or maybe people can breathe a little bit and kind of really see a little better picture, and we can maybe have a discussion at that time. I agree with Donna. The bottom line is we want to be a part of the community college system, and we'd like to, if you agree, we'd like to come back.
Yes.
Pastor?
I don't know whether this is an appropriate question for a new board member or not, or whether it shows my naivete, but I'd like to ask Do we have a discretionary fund?
Well, you know what I was thinking was the opportunity that I see right now is the basic skills money, and it was cut back from 33.1 to 29. But as you know, the action and expenditure plans are due May 1st. So I think that given how tight money is in general, if I had an Umoja program at my college, I would say I want that money, because the purpose of the money is to do exactly what you're doing, and I just absolutely commend you. I am so excited to hear this. This is my highest priority this year, to try to make a difference for African American and Latino students who have the lowest success rates. And so I don't see why we could not use that money that's there now to fund some of these projects. That should crowd out some other things. So that would be the kind of the discretionary money that I think could be used right now. I don't know, Linda, what do you think about that?
We've trained, I'll respond real quickly. We actually had a training at the conference about how the basic skills money worked, and how to write budgets, and how to show alignment, and many colleges have talked to us since then about their progress, and with questions and tips and things like that. And
so you are going after that money?
We're doing our best. It's one college at a time.
Yeah, those funds have all been allocated out to the colleges, so those are local decisions being made.
Right.
I think both Carol and I, let the folks know that the basic skills funds are in fact at the colleges.
Designed exactly for this kind of program.
I'd like to see us go one step farther. So therefore, I'd like to move that this board go on record as authenticating and endorsing the Umoja educational community-based skills component as an authentic and legitimate entity of our system. I don't want it to be a stepchild.
I can assure you that when it comes time for the system to develop its 2009-10 budget request, there will certainly be discussion about Umoja and whether there is a fashion for the system to actually obtain and devote some specific dollars to the infrastructure for building this statewide.
Before I call on Barbara, Steve, is it possible for us to accept a motion like that if we get a second?
It wasn't an action item, but I don't think anyone would object to the board adopting such a motion.
Okay. Yeah, I wonder if we might be able to, from the board, or whatever way might seem the best way to do this, sponsor a couple of pilot programs with some really hardcore research behind it, giving the infrastructure that would let us know what's working and what isn't working. And I'm wondering if that might be a possibility.
Well, I have a motion and a second on the floor.
Yeah, that wasn't a motion. That was.
No, I'm just saying that I think we have to deal with that first. So I'd like some discussion on the pastor's motion. Carolyn?
Well, I seconded, but I think maybe what we would like to do is hear back, as you said. So if we could have a time where we would have a report back and, authenticate what is going on in terms of what the pastor has said, and then perhaps before that report comes back, we can explore some funding. I had an opportunity to spend a lot of time with Tom at Chabot as part of another project, and this is really crucial to the success of African American students. So let's maybe just take it in steps and do this motion today, and then have a time certain where we can continue to look at this.
Okay, is everyone clear on what we're doing? Okay, I'm going to call for the vote. All those. Oh, I'm sorry, we have a comment, Lance, just before me.